What if I told you the Chicago Bears might be standing on the edge of a decision that could ripple through the entire NFC North and shift the balance of power for years to come? This isn't just another preseason roster shuffle. This is a quarterback crossroads that could determine whether we hold a key asset or hand it straight to our most bitter rival. At Hollis Hall, the tension is unmistakable. Tyson Bagent, the undrafted underdog who turned heads in 2023, is locked in a high-stakes duel with veteran Case Keenum for the QB2 job behind Caleb Williams. Bagent's story is the kind every Bears fan loves to see in nobody who became somebody. Overnight. 5 games, 4 starts, a 2-2 record, 859 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 picks, plus 109 rushing yards and 2 ground scores. He wasn't perfect, but he was poised, tough, and unafraid of the spotlight. And yet, here we are, with Keenum, who once had his finest year in Minnesota back in 2017 lurking in the background. If Keenum wins the job, Bagent instantly becomes a trade chip, and that's where the plot thickens. The Minnesota Vikings are staring at their own uncertainty. Rookie J.J. McCarthy is their gamble of the future, but behind him, Sam Howell, who can look sharp one moment and questionable the next. Yes, Howell went 11 of 13 for 105 yards in their preseason opener. But just a week earlier, head coach Kevin O'Connell had pulled him mid-practice for Brett Ripien. That's not the move of a team confident in its backup. And insiders in Minnesota have been whispering ever since, maybe they need someone else, someone like Bagent. Imagine him in purple, standing on our rival's sideline, one play away from taking over their offense. The price being floated? A day 3 draft pick. For a franchise that needs every ounce of draft capital to build around Caleb Williams, that's tempting. But here's the catch. Bears head coach Ben Johnson has been gushing over Bagent. Phenomenal was the word he used praising his intelligence, focus, and leadership. You don't just give up a guy like that lightly. So the Bears are staring at 2 paths. Keep Bagent as premium insurance for a rookie QB, or flip him to a rival for a shot at strengthening our future through the draft. And every preseason snap matters now, because if Keenum locks up QB2, the phones will start ringing in Minnesota. But what if we trade him and Keenum falters? Or worse, what if Bagent becomes a steady hand that keeps the Vikings alive in a playoff race against us? That's the danger, and the decision that could define this season before it even begins. The question is simple. Do you keep your safety net, or do you cash it in and risk empowering the enemy? Bears Nation, if you can feel your heartbeat in your throat right now, you're not alone. This is one of those moments where every choice feels like it could make or break the year. Stand up and feel the weight of what's hanging over Hollis Hall. This isn't just a roster decision. It's the kind of call that echoes through a franchise's history. Remember '85, when the Bears ruled with an iron fist and every opponent feared our name? That was built on depth, discipline, and dominance at every position. Fast forward to 06-1 break, 1 turnover, and the Lombardi slipped away. In 2010, it was the NFC Championship. Cutler sidelined, our backup unable to carry the load, and the dream died right there on Soldier Field's frozen turf. And then there's 2018 double DOINK.1 moment, one breakdown, a single decision. In the war room that seems harmless routine, even can ripple out and shatter an entire season before the leaves even change color in Chicago. Seasons don't always turn on blockbuster trades or devastating injuries. Sometimes they pivot on the smallest hinge, the tiniest miscalculation, the trade you thought was smart until it starts haunting your every Sunday. Now, close your eyes and picture this. We pull the trigger, ship Tyson Bagent to Minnesota for a mid-round draft pick. It's not flashy, but it's calculated. We pat ourselves on the back, telling ourselves we're building for the future. Stacking assets, playing the long game. Caleb Williams is healthy, Keenum is there as insurance, and the quarterback room feels stable. The fan base breathes easy, but football isn't merciful, and fate doesn't take requests. Week 4 rolls around. Caleb drops back on a simple 3rd and 6, and the pocket collapses faster than you can blink. A hit low, awkward twisting. The crowd at Soldier Field holds its breath. He gets up, but slow, limping with trainers swarming. The cameras zoom in on his face, and you see it the grimace that tells you this isn't nothing. In steps Case Keenum, veteran steady hands, but in this moment, he's ice cold. First drive 3 and out. Second drive missed timing routes, a sack, a punt. The offense looks like it's running through mud. By halftime, the scoreboard feels like a brick on your chest. By the final whistle, the fear has set in. Without Caleb, this season is in real danger. Meanwhile, up north, the picture couldn't be more different. In Minneapolis, our Bagent is under center. He's not throwing 70-yard bombs or rewriting the record books, but he's keeping the Vikings alive, efficient, calm, the kind of game manager who doesn't flinch when the blitz comes, who doesn't let a 3rd and 9 rattle his bones. Week after week, he stacks small wins. By December, the Vikings are in the hunt, their fan base buzzing, their locker room united behind a young quarterback who wasn't even supposed to be theirs. And every time you turn on the TV, the talking heads are smirking, the graphics are glowing, the one that got away. The NFC North laughs in our face, and the sting doesn't fade easily in Chicago. But here's the cruel twist. What if the other side of the coin is just as bitter? What if we keep Bagent, refusing to let a rival get their hands on him, and he ends up glued to the bench all season, never playing a meaningful snap? What if we hold on so tight to security that we pass up on the draft capital that could have been the lifeblood of our rebuild? That pick could be the weapon Caleb needs, a deep threat to stretch defenses, a bruising running back to close out games, a lockdown corner to shut down Detroit's aerial assault. Passing on that kind of opportunity can haunt a franchise just as much as a bad trade. The Bears front office is walking a tightrope, and every gust of wind from Lake Michigan feels like it's trying to knock them off balance. On one side, immediate security. On the other, long-term gain. It's not just a football decision, it's a philosophical one. What kind of team are we trying to be? One that plays scared of losing, or one that gambles for glory? And this isn't happening in a vacuum. Green Bay's young core is gelling faster than anyone expected. Detroit's roster looks like it's built in a lab for playoff dominance. Every edge matters, and every misstep tilts the race away from us. You think Dan Campbell or Matt LaFleur is going to lose sleep over us holding on to a backup? No, they're already circling weaknesses, plotting ways to exploit whatever crack we leave open. So what's the move, Chicago? Do we trust the veteran Keenum to hold the line and cash in Bagent for a pick that could fortify our future? Or do we double down on keeping a young, hungry backup who's already proved he can weather a storm in this league? This isn't just about a name on the depth chart. It's about refusing to hand a rival the exact piece that could save their season. And Dumas. Think about it. A late-season showdown against Minnesota, playoff stakes on the line, and Bagent wearing purple. Not Navy marching down the field in the final 2 minutes. Soldier Field silent, except for the bitter wind. Do we want to live in that reality? Or will we live in the one where we made the hard choice, took the pick, and armed ourselves for the next chapter? The biting wind off Lake Michigan doesn't care about second guesses, and neither do the teams waiting to take our spot. This is about pride, about legacy, about making sure the 2025 Bears don't just survive, but roar back into relevance. So I'm throwing it to you, Bears Nation. What's it gonna be? Take the pick or hold the line? Because every decision from now until kickoff isn't just a transaction. It's a heartbeat. And right now, that heartbeat is pounding like never before, echoing through the walls of Hollis Hall, daring us to choose which future we believe in. The clock is ticking. The division's watching, and the future of the Chicago Bears hangs in the balance.